Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for another match day watch along. We are doing a neutral watch along today. It is still club football. It's not the World Cup or international bullshit anymore. That's over until the next Euro, so you can all relax. But yeah, we are doing domestic football. It's not Arsenal. We are doing a neutral watch along from my perspective and many of yours perspective as well. In terms of most of you that watch this channel, tune into this channel. As you can tell, it is Man City versus Liverpool. Fourth round of the Carabao Cup, League Cup, Little Woods Cup, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But yeah, it is, as I say, it's Man City at home. Haaland hasn't played for forever. It feels like for him as well. He started tonight. Darren Núñez has started. Salah, De Bruyne, Rodri. And as expected, being it's such a big tie, and we also kickoff has just got underway, but as it's such a big tie, both managers, Pep and Jurgen Klopp, have gone as big as full strength as they possibly can in this tie. Bloody hell, Liverpool. Haaland almost scored there. Bloody hell. Got 20 seconds in. Was he onside? Let's have a look. He was on, or a bit more. The keeper put him off there. Kelly coming out, who's in goal for Liverpool tonight. Rushes out, and Haaland just rushes the shot and hits it way over the bar. So just bear with me while I get the scoreboard. I do apologise for being late, by the way. I was going to go live 15 minutes before kickoff, but I lost track of time, basically. So, and also, because it is a League Cup, Darwin News is through. It's going to be 1-0. Good block from Liverpool. Oh dear, it's all going already. I personally want City to batter the life out of Liverpool in 1 second. Man City to batter the life out of Liverpool, and for then Liverpool to frustration take out Haaland. Perfect for Arsenal then. We're just perfect then. There we go. Mr. Bungle's in the chat. How the devil are you, old bean? I am good, my friend. I hope you're having a good build up to your Christmas. Obviously, literally days away now. Christmas is. Oh, corner, 1 sec. Well defended from Rodri. Headed out back to Milner, and makes a pig's ear of it. But yeah, I'm good. Hope you're keeping well as well. You're all ready for the festivities of the weekend that is coming. Next time you guys will probably see me, if not tomorrow. I think the draw's tomorrow for the Champions League. You'll probably see tomorrow. But in terms of, when it comes to the return of the men's domestic football after pre-World Cup now, the next time you'll see me in terms of that side of things, content will be on Monday night. Where, hey, Boxing Day, 8 o'clock, myself, Gary, if he's available, Liam, and whoever else who's around and got plans if they're around. Make a big song and dance over it, get the gang back together, hopefully, most of it anyway. And might even get Joel on if he's not working that day. If he hasn't out with our extended family and all that. Obviously Tom's in the chat as well, Mr. Tom. 1 second to get your comment up as well. How are you doing? I'm good, so oh dear. So yeah, we're all settled now. Relax somewhat. Just again, you know what? If it had been a normal season, like no World Cup in between all this, I probably still would have done this. I still would have done this game, this tie, because it is Man City, Liverpool, and I can just sit back as a neutral. It's most of you guys now and just enjoy the game and have no affiliation to it. I do like doing these neutral watch alongs time to time because of that reason. The only time I won't be doing, I won't have that affiliation if Arsenal continue to be in this title race come the back end of the season, and we're hoping we're relying on Liverpool to do us a favour, things like that. Then I won't be we will have an emotional connection. I definitely will have an emotional connection bagging Liverpool to win in that game. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it in that sense. But yeah, all jokes aside. Yeah, because I did start late, so that's probably why, Mr. Bungle. Obviously, hopefully everyone's starting getting their notifications and they'll pop in when they can. Hopefully, get as the next few minutes go, the next 10 or so minutes go by, more of the regulars come in or new faces come in and say hi in the chat. I was sort of relieved because I decided definitely last night I was going to do this game tonight. I'm sort of relieved. I sort of knew Haaland would definitely start because he didn't go to the World Cup. He hasn't played competitively since the last league game they had before the World Cup. So I knew he definitely would start and Salah would. But I am relieved that both teams have gone as full strength as they possibly can. There's a couple from both teams that they've gone put youngsters in where they wouldn't play normally, but as much as they could possibly have gone full strength, all things considered. So I'm sort of relieved I'm not watching a bunch of second stringers, basically a load of both 22 second string teams playing basically. Oh dear, get saying Greenwood in the chat. I do need to put the thing out, don't I? Guys, if you want to share it as well, don't be afraid to share the stream while we're live and all that on all your platforms like WhatsApp groups or WhatsApp in general, Twitter and all that. Facebook. Oh, wasn't that Haaland's through? Is he onside? Flag staying down. Let's see you through, Haaland. Was that Palmer fluff? Yeah, Haaland put that on a plate. All the young lad had to do. Or it might come. No, he would have been onside. Arms have been in line with each other. Haaland put this on the plate, and the young lad Palmer, who's been highly rated by the way to be the next breakout player at Man City's academy after Foden, completely just gets his feet in a angle and completely mishits the shot. Well, I say shot, it hits off his foot basically in the end and goes out for a goal kick. All he has to do if he asserts himself and can't and just does it comes into the ball and hits it across, that's 1-0. See, I'm like, in one sense, I'm like, like I say, I want Liverpool to get battered. So Liverpool fans can be put back in their place because they want John needs little fucking friendlies that we've all been doing. The last one they played was against AC Milan. They won 4-1. It's like, we're back, baby. Yeah, fucking yeah, right. If you're back, then we're winning the title, then, mate. Because we're just up the ante, basically. We'll obviously, depending on how this game plays out as well, we will talk about Arsenal related news as well. Obviously, Arteta doing his press conference today, his first press conference since obviously we last played before the World Cup against Wolves. So here's a few things to say. Obviously, Jesus refusing, even though there's reports out going up, there's reports going up by well-sourced people and folk saying, and media outlets are saying that literally they've got a date that the 25th of February he's going to be back for the Leicester game against away to Leicester. It's going to be his comeback game, basically. Oh, De Bruyne again wins the ball in midfield. Oh, completely fucks it again. He's not showing his cards, basically. He's not confirming anything on that side of things. He's saying, we know, obviously, he's just had surgery. We're assessing it day by day and how he recovers from the surgery. And we go by that. Still can't believe my team beat Liverpool. Let's be honest, Tom. You're on about this season. It's not exactly a hardship this season for anyone to beat Liverpool. Prior to the World Cup, it's not been a hardship. I mean, we're top of the league. We deserve over the game. Of course, the game we deserved, but obviously going into the game as well, form-wise, we were the better team anyway. So we have more about us. But Bournemouth aside, that 9-0 Bournemouth win, Liverpool against Bournemouth, sorry, it hasn't been exactly hard to take points, if not all the points, of Liverpool home or away this season. And they're just playing again. You know what? basically 10 minutes into the game, basically. And City, I know City at home, and as I say, both pretty much gone full strength, apart from a couple of players on each team, on the starting 11 wise, that we wouldn't usually play, but are playing. But it's just like, again, you wouldn't think there's been a World Cup break. You wouldn't think Liverpool have had the majority of the Liverpool side, by the way, that didn't go to the World Cup or came back early. You wouldn't think that there had been a World Cup, basically. You'd think this is literally like the literally days after the last league game, basically, when Man City lost to Brentford, 1-0 Haaland. There we go. It started. 10 minutes in, Liverpool back. Man City are just doing their thing. But it's been coming. I'll be honest, it has been coming. It's like the exchanges they have put their foot on Liverpool's throat, and it could have been 1-0. This game could be over already if other chances had gone in a couple of minutes prior, basically. Look at the space. I mean, anyone watching this, look at the space that Gundogan, De Bruyne, even the Palmer lad, he got. Look at Haaland as well. In the build-up, I'm looking at that build-up in Haaland there. No one's watching him off the ball at all. It's doing standing there, doing his own thing. Gomez, the nearest defender to him, is ball watching. Everyone is ball watching. As I say, it's like the World Cup that never came. Like there's been no World Cup. Like this is literally like the next game after the last league game we all witnessed prior to the World Cup. It's like the days, like a couple of days later, here's the League Cup. Boom. There's no change whatsoever to how Liverpool have been this season. And Haaland, obviously, he's had all the rest in the world. So he's just like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Come on. And he's already scored. Didn't change the scoreboard, don't I? It's just going to be 2-0 to change it, one sec. Oh, Palmer got the ball, holding it up. Oh, mate, Liverpool, you know, I'm telling you. Erling Haaland. Oh, who's this down? As I say, I want Liverpool to get battered, and out of frustration, then Harvey Elliott's gone down, holding his ankle, but he's got back up. Out of frustration, I want Liverpool then to go, like this, fuck you, Haaland, and have it and do something to his ankles that has him out for a bit. I can't believe my team beat Chelsea. I'm just going to go through a list of all the teams we've beaten this season so far, respectively. You know, I can't believe we won that game. Oh dear. Next week you'll be coming in saying, I can't believe my team beat Bournemouth or Wolves. Oh dear. I don't know if you played Bournemouth this season. I'm just guessing now. Because all this fucking stop and start BS because of the World Cup. Some obviously Arsenal was, I know my games, but obviously I can't remember all the rival, all the other teams' games, basically, who everyone else has played so far. It wouldn't take very long. You never know. It's just say you can't believe you beat Liverpool. You can't believe you beat Chelsea. You never know. Next Tuesday night, next Tuesday, morning, afternoon, or evening when you play them, you could beat City. You never know. You never know. I mean, going by what I'm seeing so far, saying that you might defend actually better than Liverpool, so I won't put you down too quickly. Actually, that I can understand in one sense because you say you were 3-1 down in that game after you went 1-0 up, but yeah, I remember that game now because you went 1-0 up, like literally within a minute of the game kicking off. You got a penalty and you went 1-0 up and that. Then out of nowhere, they just couldn't alive. Went, oh, boom, 3-1, 2-1, 3-1. They was in cruise control. And then for the last, the last 15, 20 minutes, they just come out of themselves. Here we go. Oh, to the post, Nunes. Offside, though. That's per usual. Dear. Oh, is it offside? I don't know. I think 82 were playing offside. Yeah, playing in the right back position. Man City were playing him on. Yeah, I remember that. I actually remember that game. the last 15, 20 minutes, you got a goal and then came to life, and then just literally like the last kick of the game, bang, 4-3. It's like delirium at Ellen's Road. BX guys in the chat. How are we doing, BX? Hope you're keeping well, my friend, and all ready for the Christmas festivities of the weekend that's coming. Oh, for fuck's sake. Even when I'm not in the room, the cats are causing an aggro. Even when other people are in the room, they're causing aggro by the sounds of it. Fantastic. I was invited to run in after. Evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. That's exactly what happened. We collapsed. They collapsed. Pure Barclays. Oh dear, got to laugh. Bear with me a second. Sorry about that. Just making sure because I heard banging and slamming downstairs and people going. Ah. So I was just making sure the cat's on the windowsill. I was like, oh fuck. Just making sure they hadn't broken anything, and just one of the cats gone into fucking hyper mode after eating as well. Just eating their evening meal, and one of them's gone hyper mode and jumped onto the windowsill, off the windowsill, not to fucking crystal, but thankfully not touched. Thankfully, hasn't broken anything. Oh dear. So everyone in the chat, obviously Tom, BX, and so the ones that obviously talking, being active in the chat so far, BX, Mr. Bungle, and Tom. Are you all ready for the weekend? Talking of which, who was that? At this point, might as well say, because no one else has said it over the years, that since I've been doing this channel, the amount of times I drink this product, you'd think the fucking one at the company get in touch with me now and sponsor me. Imagine that, bloody hell, being sponsored by it because I'm drinking their product on a podcast channel. You know, that would be insane, but yeah, that's potential that years that whenever down the line. Oh, well, yeah, playing bloody hell. Liverpool again. I know it's a cup game, and they've had a couple. So I've got vast amounts of rum in the house. Oh, okay. I've got my shopping orders coming tomorrow, and I've got in one order. I've got a case of my annual case of Guinness coming for the that will last me not just through the festive New Year period, but beyond as well. I'm not a heavy drink, but I've got a case of what was it? I can't remember what it was now. But I've got a case of Guinness coming from one order. I've got another order coming in later on that day, and I've put put on the order 3 bottles of Toffee Apple Brothers cider. I haven't had that for years. When it first came out, actually, it was really nice, actually. But again, because I haven't had it for years, I thought, you know what? I'll treat myself for that as well. Oh, 1-0. Carvalho, bloody out of nowhere. Liverpool back in the game. Literally out of nothing as well. Totally against the run of play. Again, a lot of ball watching in the build up here. Carvalho is literally into space as well. No one around him. No defenders clocked onto him in the box. Ball comes to him, and he just literally first time hits it across his body into the goal. It is noteworthy of saying both teams have gone for their second choice goalkeepers in goal tonight. 0-0 the assist. He just comes to him, he just places it and guides it into the bottom corner, basically. Yeah, but out of nothing that was. Totally against some run of play. They've done nothing apart from Nunes hitting the post a couple of minutes ago, and even then he would have been offside potentially. That's the first meaningful attack aside from what I just mentioned there, and that's poor defending really from Laporte and Ake and I can't remember the now. But just in general, it's a poor defending from City there. Okay, scoreboard again, yay! He's got goals. At least it's not a dull 0-0. He's like end to end, but I'll say end to end, but like the occasional chance here and there from both teams to score, but nothing else apart from that. Oh, we're doing. That was it. Checking how many I've got coming again. It's 1 sec. It wasn't Tesco. Somebody else was it? I think it's 50. It might be 50. Might what you're saying. It might be 15. Yeah, I think that sounds about right actually. 10 to 15. It's either 10 or 15 cans. I've got probably 15 by the sound of it. I can't be bothered to check. To be honest, actually think about it now because I know where it's coming from, so I can't be bothered to log in. No, I don't want it getting taken off the list. We've run out. Sorry. Is it, yeah, 15 or more I've got coming. I'll let you know. Obviously, once I know, obviously, we'll come back up again either tomorrow's conversation in the stream or on Boxing Day when I'm pouring myself quite a few to cope with the nerves after Boxing Day game against West Ham. I've got a case of Guinness 15 cans in the box. Great minds, eh? Great minds think like I do like a Guinness, just from time to time. It's a quiet taste, I will say this. No matter what sort of draft, stout, whatever it is, Guinness itself is an acquired taste. The one thing I haven't tried Guinness-wise recently is a new thing they've launched in the last couple of months, actually, the last few months. It's like the Guinness and coffee, like the Guinness coffee combo thing they're doing. I haven't tried that yet. I will try it at some point, but I haven't got around to buying myself a can and trying. Oh, it's going to be 2-1. No, Haaland. Oh, my God. Just needed a touchdown. It would have been 2-1 Haaland on a hat trick 23 minutes in. It's a free kick, surely. I may have had £1 English on draw at half time, Man City to win full time. What else for that then, out of interest? Just get a few quid back at least. If it does happen, obviously. But you sort of need for that to happen now, you do need Liverpool to actually learn how to defend when the opposition attacks them. That's the one thing they haven't learned all season. Have been like that. Bar Bournemouth at home. When anyone attacks them, they don't know how to defend. About 16-5. Okay. It's, as I say, it's like the shouts for a penalty, but I don't think it'll be given. Nope, play on. I don't think there's VAR in this game either. So, oh my god. But as I say, Liverpool are playing exactly the same on and off the ball like they had been for the majority of the season before the World Cup. Especially when it comes to trying to defend against the opposition. They're ball watching. They look just out of sorts. Basically, they look like a group of strangers playing together. Basically, you should change the words there at the last second. Yeah, as I say, every time. Oh, one sec. Okay, he's almost made a pig's ear of things, but got away with it. Salah's offside. Yeah, as I say, every time Liverpool have to defend, they just look out of sorts in their ball watching. It's like watching. As I say, it's like Klopp's got a team that didn't. All the players that didn't go to the World Cup for their respective. All the players that basically stayed put. It's like he hasn't trained with them. He hasn't worked with them to sort of, even the ones that came back early as well, worked with them and actually tried to nip that in the bud and use his break to his advantage. It's just like, oh, it'll work out eventually. We'll keep doing we'll just do our thing and it'll work out eventually. I think, look, Liverpool got back in the game there. You'd think they've got back in the game 1-1, tails will be up, they smell a bit of blood and maybe try and push the Man City a bit more. They've gone 1-1, it's back to what it was at 0-0. Man City's just attack, attack, attack. I like Murphy's stat. I haven't had Murphy's actually ever. I might one day try that, maybe. I don't know. Oh, cotton bomb blocked. Well done. Why did Mark does that rolls next to him? Why does he not touch the ball? Because it took the direction of a Liverpool defender, so he wouldn't have been blown up for offside or nothing. I wouldn't say that's a foul. That's soft against Milner there. I've got to say, if it's too quick to give that. Now, considering again, Trent, he went to the World Cup. He didn't really play many minutes at the World Cup. I think he played up 10 minutes. I think like that. I can't remember now. You'd think he'd play tonight. Nope. I don't think he is anyway. I haven't seen him so far. If he is playing. Salah's been non-existent. What? Yeah. Salah, again, hasn't gone to the World Cup. Should be as fresh as a daisy. That's like Haaland, and hungry like Haaland was, and currently is during this game. Nothing. Yeah, again, like it was before the World Cup, apart from the occasional appearance, so game we to make a performance in. Once on the blue moon, literally, it's again nothing from him so far in this game. All I've got to say as well, no matter what, even if it is a draw after 90 minutes, thank fuck, it's the League Cup because there's no extra time. It's straight to penalties. I haven't done like the World Cup. I haven't got to sit for 30 more minutes. I wouldn't have to watch another 30 minutes of it, basically, if it went down that road. Don't think it will. I think City will walk it. The way this game's playing out, even though it's 1-1, the way this game is going, you can only see one winner. Let's be honest. I mean, it's literally like watching the World Cup final. One-sided. Difference is Man City have been very fucking wasteful with the possession. How are the other games going in the League Cup? Let's have a look. Everyone's gone quiet in the chat. Are you all right? Have I bored you already? I haven't, obviously. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here talking to myself, going mad. Before I forget, a massive and huge congratulations to Beth Mead. After last night's game, obviously, she was nominated one of the nominations for the running for the main event of Sports Personality of the Year. I put my, as soon as the voting app opened after the stream, I put my vote in, did my bit, and as I say, congratulations to her because she won. She won the main. She came first. She won the BBC Sports Personality Year 2022. Viv was there. Her dad was there. I believe her mum was there as well, and obviously because of all other awards as well. All her teammates England teammates were there as well. Her England coach was there. Most obviously other people, but yeah. So yeah, she got to it. She deserves it. As I say, I put a tweet out last night. Totally deserves it. No one in the year itself deserves it more than her. But based on how she's performed in her profession this year, and she becomes not only did she win it last night, but she becomes the first ever female footballer to win the Sports Personality of the Year ever. And again, that's huge. I mean, that's. I just hope this isn't a just because like Beth and the England team did well. Oh, they get the award because of that. Like the awards, especially they all won. Just because, and they sort of peter off and don't give the platform to help that sport push on now. The women's side of football push on. But this is that her winning that the England women's team winning the Team of the Year award, Serena Weigman winning the Coach of the Year award last night as well. Hopefully, this is a step in the right direction for the women's game. Right, there's no turning back now. It's just a massive turning point where it just pushes on now. I was checking how it goes, wasn't it? Is this the only game in the Carabao Cup tonight? Fuck me. Copa del Rey. After that go 0-0. Right, one sec. Right, back to the game. Still 1-1 somehow. Or no how, because as I say, City have been all the threat they're posing now have been very aside from scoring the goal they did score, very wasteful. They're wasting opportunity at 0-0. They're wasting massive opportunities at 1-0 and 1-1 now. And Liverpool just seem to be putting every man beyond the ball and trying to counter attack against Man City. And that's not going to work. Well, Rodrigo's lucky there's no VAR because Carvalho aggravates him in the first place, but no need to react like that as well from Rodrigo. That's it. Right, the pressure on Man City, and the goalkeeper gives it. Man City gives it away. They win it back. They're on the attack now, on the counter. Boyna to Gundogan. Are they going to beat it with Haaland? Off the ball foul. on De Bruyne, but ref says no, play on. Liverpool get back in numbers and get the ball back. No VAR on the Carabao Cup. No, it doesn't seem. I don't think this. I don't know why, by the way. Especially if it's like an all Premier League tie like this, or Premier League clubs hosting, for example. I don't get what isn't VAR because they have to take there. Or someone's being booked to. It's going to be booked. Let's have a look. But yeah, they don't, for some reason in this under the since it's been like the Carabao sponsoring the League Cup, and it's sort of when VAR was being slowly introduced. They initially did like again like if it's an all Premier League side against each other, or a Premier League team was hosting against a lower league opposition or whatever. If it's a Premier League ground base, they were using VAR initially. Over the only since his first season in a row, once that Man City on the attack, De Bruyne is going to set Haaland up. Was he going to go for goal? No, what's he doing? What's he doing? What a save! Well, that block or save there from either Milner or the goalkeeper. You know, as I say, I don't know why they changed the rules and decided, hey, you know what, we won't use VAR until the semi-final. That's the two-leg semi-finals onwards. Like semi-finals and the final, that's the only time they use the VAR system for whatever reason. Don't, as I say, when they started introducing VAR to England, they were initially using it, especially if it's that Premier League. Because remember, I went to it was in the Unai Emery year. Not long before he got beamed off Unai Emery, was it? No, Unai Emery's first season. Sorry, it was Unai Emery's first season. Well, it's obviously his full season in charge. One sec. Okay, good save. Yeah, so Unai Emery, Arsenal v Blackpool, and it was a season before they introduced it into the Premier League. But there's always the system was in place, and they wanted to use the cup, the domestic cups, to sort of test run it throughout the season before, and they were using it in the early rounds. Because I remember Arsenal v Blackpool, and they used it to make sure at one of our goals there was no offside in the build-up from Nick Steiner. I don't remember that. Geez, one season on Nick Steiner at the end of his time. And to make sure that the player that had been sent off was the right player to be sent off and not someone else. So they were using the VAR, and then suddenly, in the last 2-3 seasons, I think this is the first season in a row now where they've decided to go with the rule of no matter what, VAR will not be used until the semi-final, which is ridiculous. As I say, especially looks like Phillips is better to come on for Liverpool. Milner's going off, doesn't all. That don't look good. I've got a massive gash in his leg as well. I'm a stab by the looks of it. Not bleeding or nothing. It's just you can see there's a cut there. Don't know what's happening there, but yeah. Tom, yeah, the FA, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, up till a couple of years back, that was the case in the League Cup. And they just said suddenly, this is the first season in a row now they're doing it. No, we're not going to use it until the semi-final or the final. And like you say, we've got the FA Cup. They allow VR to be used even if it's not an all Premier League tie. It's a Premier League team at home against a Championship League 1, League 2, especially in the early rounds. They allow to be because the text there, the system's all installed anyway. They allow it to be used. The only time it won't be used in the early rounds of the FA Cup if it's a non-Premier League team hosting a Premier League team, because obviously you can't financially put that stuff in place, or it's a non-all Premier League tie. But they used it from the third round onwards. It's in place because obviously say that Premier League teams are now in, so it's there if a Premier League team's hosting. So, for example, Oxford United versus Arsenal. That won't have VAR in because Oxford are the home team, which is fine. Hopefully, touch wood. But Man City versus Chelsea will have VAR because it's an all Premier League side, and the main thing is that it's been played at Premier League ground anyway. Don't forget to get enough food for 30 to 40 days over Christmas because the shops will be closed for 12 hours. Well, the way things are going in this country, I'm waiting for the fucking strikes happening in the shops. Even though obviously it can't happen. You never know. The way things are going in this country, you never fucking know when it comes to way things are going in the strikes and all. You're just waiting. Breaking news suddenly. This is happening. This supermarket will be closed and you can't go there. Like, oh, fantastic. Let's have a riot. Oh, there's riots. Everywhere closed. Let's have a meltdown. Liverpool v Leicester. December 30th. I mean, there's boxing. Oh, I know there's Boxing Day. It's all on Amazon. That's why. Okay, fair enough. Brighton v Arsenal. New Year's Eve. Ooh. New Year's Day. Tottenham v Villa. Come on, Aston Villa. Come on, Villa. Forest versus Chelsea. New Year's Day. Of all the fixtures you could have put on New Year's Day, you've decided Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Are you fucking for real? I mean, Arsenal playing Newcastle around that time, but we've been moved to I think the 3rd of January. So we've been playing New Year's Eve against Brighton, but I'm saying that the first league game of the new year playing Newcastle. I know it's on Sky, but it's like, oh, Nunes is through. Does he have a shot for himself? Of course he does, and it goes wide. You've got some decent games, Sky, for New Year's Eve. And New Year's Day, you have to ruin it. You have one decent game and one game with all due respect to Forest and all that. And Chelsea, that's not exactly going to get you off your seat and go, you know what? I'm hungover. I'm hungover. I'm just not feeling it today. I want to just chill. I'll put the Nottingham Forest first. Unless you're a Nottingham Forest fan or Chelsea fan, as a neutral, are you really going to want to sit there for 90 plus minutes watching possibly either the most one-sided game on the day? There's no entertainment, no nothing, or it could be the most dullest 0-0 game in the world. You can't always put the big six against each other and on TV. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is literally is. I'm sure if I look at New Year's Day's fixture list, because obviously I know Arsenal played New Year's Eve against Brighton away, but what I'm saying is that I'm sure there's got to be bigger or better games they could have picked. Have a look. No way out of interest, just to see if I'm right or wrong on that. Actually, let's have a look. I'm not saying you've got to put a big. They're saying that, but Chelsea are a big 6 team technically, even though they're not playing like it. They are certainly a big 6 team, so that's not my argument. My argument is there's better games in, not with all due respect, not in the Forest versus Chelsea, because that's a potential dullest game in the world, 0-0, or scrappy 1-0 win, or the most one-sided game in the world. But no sort of excitement to it, basically. That makes sense. All I'm saying is, if all the possession Man City have had in this game, they've got the most potent going forward and most threatening as a unit. As I keep saying, they've been very wasteful. I know they got the goal, but they've been very wasteful in this first half. If they were their clinical best, this game's over. That's all I'm saying. New Year's Day on Sunday. Right, here we go. Spurs Villas on Sky. They've only got 2 games, and they're both on New Year's Day. You're only showing 2 games. There's only 2 games in general on New Year's Day, 2 p.m. and 4:30, because it's Sunday. Or you take what? Because it's for Super Sunday or whatever it is now. Super Sunday, piss off. And then Brentford Liverpool on the 2nd of January. That's it. We're on the 3rd. A few days later, on the next round of games. Wasted again from Rodri this time. I think it was on New Year's Eve then. So pretty much, what was it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Who's missing? Am I missing something here? 30th? At the end of that for the fixtures. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, I don't know what's gone on there, but there's 2 teams not playing over in for some reason, even New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, or the 2nd of January. I need to look at that. But basically, New Year's Eve, the majority of the games are played on New Year's Eve. There's 2 games on New Year's Day, so the Sky have got both of them games. But just because it's Sunday, isn't it? They've got we've got the New Year's Day tradition of we can actually show the New Year's Day game for the first time in 2 years on Sky. It's a Sunday. We're going to stick with our Super Sunday schedule. Act like it's a normal day, and they put every other game, most of the games, the day before. I mean, Man City. Look, I'm looking at New Year's Eve. Yeah, you've got Wolves versus Man United. That's 12:30. That'll be on BT. That's 12:30 kickoff. Looking at the 3 o'clock kickoffs on the Saturday on New Year's Eve. Bournemouth v Palace. Okay, I can understand that not being on. But Fulham, Southampton. New manager at Southampton. Fulham are doing well this season. Why can't that be on a broadcasting system? Is this going to be 2-1? Oh my God! Nunez again wasting another opportunity. Falls to again. He's had popping in the post. He's had 2 other opportunities to score in this game. He's both chances he's hit first time we can, and he's dragged them wide. But as I say, Newcastle Leeds. That's a tasty game that could have been on TV. They could have moved that to New Year's Day, put that on Sky maybe, or Man City Everton, because of recent history between the 2 teams in terms of most of the time it's Man City, or occasionally Everton cause an upset there. Well, as I say, you've got Fulham, Southampton. Fulham been doing well this season. Southampton under a new manager. That could be a tasty game. They could have put on Sky, moved to New Year's Day and put that on Sky instead of fucking Forest v Chelsea or Newcastle v Leeds. Tom's saying while I was rambling on there, it'll either be a routine Chelsea win or big shock. Either way, I'll be washed my you and me both. Put it that way. Put it this way. In terms of neutral watch-alongs, that ain't one of them I'll be doing. No way. Not enough money in the world. You know what? There's a bit of rush in there, so I do apologise if you're listening on headphones. What were they? What the 22nd, there we go. I've got up to day 9, haven't I? 10, there we go. Yeah, Adric, I need to catch up on this actually. I've got a few games left. That's one for now. No, don't advise these at Newcastle. That could be bad. But you get my point. You get my point. What I'm trying to say there is on that particular match day. 1 second. Oh dear. On that particular match day, there is on that particular match day of fixtures, there's better fixtures there than Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, in my opinion. And I was just using Leeds versus Newcastle, Fulham versus Southampton as examples. Or Man City Everton. I was just using them as examples of games on that particular match day that they could have moved, because they do it. We all know they do it. But the Sky in the UK could have moved it to New Year, moved that particular fixture to New Year's Day, and shown it on TV instead of fucking Forest versus Chelsea. No, that's not a dig at Forest either. It's just they could have been on any. Could have just been on New Year's Eve, and but one of them games on New Year's Eve, and one of the other games I mentioned could have been moved instead. Is my point. There was better options. They could have picked Sky and they've had a stinker there. I mean, I wouldn't mind Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Tottenham versus Aston Villa, because Tottenham at home for that one on New Year's Day. So Sky started off today. New Year's Day, Happy New Year. Is a decent game, potentially a decent game. And obviously, Unai moving at ex-Arsenal, a bit of a extra spice to it as well. Emi Martinez, extra spice as well. He'll be getting a lot of grief, but he'll be giving it back as well. Trust me, we've seen it. We see what he's like in them situations. He'll be wanting to get one over on them as well. So they've picked a blinder of a game there, potentially, if all things go according to plan. And they go, I keep saying it, put a stinker in there afterwards. But it is what it is. Oh dear. At the end of the day, as long as Arsenal do their job against West Ham on Boxing Day and Brighton on New Year's Eve, home to West Ham, away to Brighton respectively, going into the new year, as long as we get our 6 points out of 6 in them two games, I don't mind. I don't care about the grand scheme of it in terms of what we've been talking about here. But it was a bit of conversation, that's all. A bit of a conversation piece we've had. We got here. Well, Mickey Richards back from Qatar. And Chappers, Mark Chapman. Match of Day 2. The pundit for Match of Day 2, sorry. Right. Well, we started off well this game. We've got a couple of goals. I mean, it's half time. We had a couple of goals, but it's been all Man City, but they've been very, very wasteful. Barring the goal from Haaland, I've got to say, from Haaland himself, great cross from De Bruyne actually, but again, typical Haaland goal this season, but a fantastic goal. As a neutral, you've got to say, hold your hand and say, another fantastic goal from Haaland. And you're thinking 1-0 early on. This is going to. You're all here when I was saying it. This is it. They're going to Liverpool's just like doing nothing. They continue to do nothing, and against a run of play, one attack, boom, 1-1. And as I said at the time, you'd think normally back in the game, you're away from home, back in the game, in the cup, at Man City. You can smell blood. You just scored. You can smell blood. Again, it's a great, well-taken goal from Carvalho as well for Liverpool, and poor defending from as a whole from Man City. So it's included Haaland in the build-up actually, but he's not paid to defend. But as I say, you'd think they'll smell blood and they'll be up there just come out of another gear now to sort of start pushing City a bit. Nothing. I thought Salah's on the pitch. We see him occasionally when they come and pounds to him, but apart from that, I don't see what he's done. Oh, Mary Earps as well. Okay. Yep, Mary Earps, Man United goalkeeper, the women's team. England goalkeeper. Almost didn't recognise her there. But no, they just went back. They went 1-0 back in, handbrake on, invite the pressure back on, and Man City have had a lot of chances since going even in general in 45 minutes there. Even when they got paid back to 1-0, they dominated that first half, the rest of that first half. But just so wasteful. If they could be that wasteful the rest of the season, it'd be fantastic. But for tonight, I want them to knock out Liverpool and not cause me any fucking aggro. I just can't stand Liverpool. But yeah, if they can play, if Man City play like this for the rest of the season, fantastic. And we could just do our thing then. As long as we do what we've been doing so far this season, Man City can play like this first and just be wasteful against everyone home and away in the league. I'll take it because it gives us a league title. So, hey. Chappers left BBC to join Sky to replace Jeff Stenning, but then Stenning didn't retire. Oh, was that the cut? I swear I've seen. Is that what? I swear I've seen Chappers this season on Match of the Day too. So what is he just for the? Is he not not a rolling contract, but on a new 1 year deal back at the BBC until Jeff pisses off basically, and then he's going over to Sky Fully. You know, thinking natural over. Didn't know that. Honestly, didn't know that actually. She must have gone back to the BBC, or the BBC is, you know what, goodwill-wise, we're giving you another contract and just play it year by year, basically, or something until Jeff pisses off. Because I did think, I've got to admit, with Jeff Stenning, that whole situation, I thought it was bad of him to, but was it this time last year, to go, this is my last season, I'm leaving at the end of the year, along with Chris Kavanagh, Chris and all that. Cammy, that's it, Cammy. I'm going, that's it, I'm retiring, and then I'm going out. This is what it's on my terms, basically. And at the last minute, as the season's coming to an end, I ain't fucking leaving, I'm staying put. I thought that's bang out of order. And the reason of obviously Cammy was leaving anyway, Sky, because obviously to do other things and help and sort of try and help control his own his illness and all that as well. Yeah, it didn't sit well with me that Jeff did the U-turns at the last minute. Goes, no, I'm staying, and Sky just allowed it. Like, okay, sure. I'll just put on Palace v Leeds from 72. Oh, really old school. Oh my days. Oh man, bloody. What time of year was that game though? Was it the winter? Was it the summer? Was the pitch a load of mud? Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look how YouTube's looking. Not considering, not too bad. If you haven't already, guys, do smash that like button as well. I'll massively appreciate if you do smash that like button and do share the content around as well. Oh dear. With a chocolate, I think. All the Sky adverts, main features Man City. Or Liverpool, I think Liverpool, yeah. Don't feature doesn't really feature Arsenal or any Arsenal fans, just the Man City, Liverpool fans, and the odd brief second of Chelsea fans and Arsenal celebrating. Right, 11. Oh, are you there? You just wait a minute. Interrupt your ears. There we go. Ooh. Literal present. Come on, Brentford. Come on, Pass. Come on, Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea against City, just to be clear. Because even if Arsenal win all their games between their first 3 games back, and lose out West Ham, Brighton, and Newcastle, we win the first 3 games. We still need City to drop points occasionally along the way. Just give us a bit more breathing space and allow us a bit more of a license to drop any points ourselves without being too cost effective. You had the entire half time to analyse, by the way, Sky, the amount of missed chances Man City have had in the entire 45 minutes there. And you've wasted it, gone to the break, come back, and now you're only high that you're only touching it for like 30 seconds, basically, before you go to another break, before the second half kicks off. Makes so much sense. Darwin Nunes is a load of fucking crap. Oh, yes, he is. Let's see if there's any subs from these not either team. Doesn't look like it. I don't know. Oh, is it Fabinho coming on? No, Fabinho's coming on for Liverpool. Okay. Oh, look, Paul Tierney. 43. Who's 43? For Liverpool. So basically, Cop's gone, I'm taking a kid off, by the looks of it. I don't know who it was. Oh, and Ox is coming on as well. And they're putting on the experienced players. Oh, he took Carvalho off, the goal scorer, for Oxlade-Chamberlain, and the young lad Badgett for Fabinho. Okay. I mean, Ox barely plays nowadays, so what's the point there? Fabinho, I can sort of, in one sense, Fabinho coming on makes sense because they do need a bit of experience in the midfield. Bit of skill there, but I don't know. So that's 3 subs now used by Liverpool because one was forced the first half with Milner going off. We are back underway for the second half, by the way. A few empty seats at the Etihad, as per usual. Had to get a dig in then, by the way. Had to get the dig in at some point tonight at the Etihad. And we are live. Oh dear. James Woods. how much space do they want to give these City players still? Whoever Klopp said, they haven't listened to him. Oh, is it 2-1? Yeah, there you go. Riyad Mahrez do his trademark, what he's done throughout the years in England since coming to Leicester. Ball comes into him, brings it down, drags it onto his strong foot, bang. Brings it down his right, takes it out to his left, boom, 2-1. And again, as I say, that's what I'm saying there. Is that whatever Klopp was saying in the first half, massive mistake, by the way, from Thiago and the build up there. But whatever he said at half time, they ain't listened to because they've played there exactly the same as they did in the first half. Every City player had all the space and on. No Liverpool player was touched at any City player in that build up there. And no, it's fine. City took their chance. I was taking the first chance to make it 1-0 early on in the game. They took an early chance in the second half, straight at the start. Yes, Mr. Bungle. Got our scoreboard now, so here we go. So it looks like the holders in Liverpool are going to be going out the Carabao Cup. It's 2-2. As I'm about to change the scoreboard from the kickoff, City gone to sleep completely. Midfield, no defence. Goalkeeper's in no man's land. And Salah, who's been non-existent, as I say, he's been non-existent in this game, has now scored. Thanks to a Nunez assist. Well, I mean, in that case, it's ball watching. What is Ake doing? The ball watch. I hate. As an Arsenal fan, I hated it for years. Arsenal players ball watching over the years since we moved to the Emirates and all that. The ball watching defender. I was called it that. Hated it. And as a neutral, I hate it. What modern day defenders, the majority of modern day defenders, this ball watching mentality. What are you playing at? No, we've got a bit of drama in this game tonight. It's just been goals tonight, I'll say that. Didn't get a chance to put a scoreboard to 2-1. Didn't get a chance to make it 2-1 on the scoreboard. As I'm typing it all out, bang, 2-all. You couldn't make it up, bloody hell. Straight from the kickoff as well. The restart, sorry. Okay, now. As I say, this is. I can't really complain as a neutral in terms of being a neutral watcher as well, because at least it's not a dull, drab 0-0. Take it the penalty situation. Both, as I say, if Man City took their chance in the first half, this tie would be over. But defending again, in terms of we've been critical of Liverpool all night, to be honest. But defensively now, I've got to criticise Man City now. Both goals heavily critical, but especially that one. You just took the lead, start the second half, and everyone went to sleep. Everyone went to sleep. And it's allowing Salah for a tap in there. Are they mad? And that's again in terms of Man City's defending in general tonight, it's been pretty similar to how they've been before the World Cup in the majority of their games. Hence why they lost to Brentford. Hence why they almost drew Fulham at the Etihad this season. Hence why they lost to Liverpool in the league at Anfield. Send money to loved ones abroad. No, I won't. We promise. Go away. Oh, this will be a counter attack. Salah. No. Oh, well defended there from a young lad. Oh, he's got. That's it. Hold you going, mate. Bloody hell. Right, let's have a look. About this is. Oh, yeah, got studs to his Not on purpose, by the way. I've got to say, but he did get Salah's done scrapes against his men's area, so he's having to walk it off. He's got a bit winded there by the studs of Salah. Purely by accident as well. Nothing there, nothing malicious in that. It's completely an accidental thing. The kid's back up now anyway, so. Oh dear, it'd be interesting. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't even know who's on City's bench tonight for Pep to bring on to change this game in a positive sense. Gary's in the chat. How are we doing, Gary? Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're ready for the weekend in terms of festivity-wise. Oh dear. Hopefully you're around on Monday. By the way, hopefully if you're available, we'll chat to you later anyway about that. But yeah, hopefully you're around for Monday. Need to double check with Liam as well. No defence to start for City or Liverpool. I like it. Yeah, I've been saying for the entire. The majority of this stream, I've been digging out Liverpool's defence and that. In terms of not just defence itself, but the team itself, how they defend after they defend when City attack. And saying it's pretty much like there was no World Cup break. Basically, it was like it's been like there's been no break. The managers haven't had time to work the players between the last domestic game and now. In terms of players have had at their disposal, they've done nothing, and it's just like it's bizarre. And Man City again. One criticism we've got to say Man City this season, they are defending champions. They've all made their spent and all that. And you'd say they've massively, obviously with Haaland, massively improved their attack by some. The defence has got the defence they've built this season that they've built over the last few years, being the opposite word. It's been that's a poor challenge. Bloody hell, there's been nothing more of non-existent this season, and if it weren't for a bit of luck against at the last hurdle against Fulham, they could have dropped points there. They should have dropped points against Fulham at home. They did drop points because of their defence at home to Brentford. They did drop points at Anfield against a below par, low on confidence Liverpool at the time. And that's sort of the one thing that, as an Arsenal fan, we can sort of hold out for and pray that and it is, as it stands, it is continuing to be that way. That Man City's defence is what is let them down this season, and hopefully it continues going into the next few weeks. And even though our injury to Jesus, we can still take advantage of that and take ourselves a bit of a bigger gap between us. Instead of the 5 point, make it a bit bigger, a bit more breathing space, so it allows us a bit of a one-off, but not a bad performance, but a one-off game where we might drop points, we might draw, we might lose. But if in the meantime we build a big enough gap, it won't hurt as much. It won't immediately wise, it won't hurt as much. If that makes sense. So Gary, I have Monday off, so I'll be around. That's cool. All right. Well, I don't know what time it is. I think now time difference wise, because it kicks off at 8 o'clock our time, so I'll be going live about 7:30, I think. So it'll be like early afternoon and evening, won't it, for you? early afternoon it'll be for your end. But yeah, if you're around, mate, yeah, that's fantastic. I'll put you down. Obviously anything comes up between now and then, obviously, because I know it's Boxing Day. Anything comes up, just let me know near the time. I'll get copyright genius. I don't. I'm not. I'm after all these years, but yeah, because I'm kind of fed up now of answering to that sort of question. Another sub, by the way, the fourth sub by Liverpool. Henderson's now come on for Harvey Elliott, adding a bit of a leadership into the Liverpool team. What is the Man City goalkeeper doing there? How's that guy number 2 at Man City? Of all the money they have, Man City, how is that guy a number 2 at a club at Man City? Jesus. Gary's watching on ESPN. Ask ESPN, see if they let you. Yeah, mate. If you're a Man City fan, but the channel, the title does say Watchalong, even though it says live stream and Watchalong. It's technically we are live streaming, but it's a Watchalong. We all watch it together. There's multiple ways you can watch it, my friend, but obviously, this is the last time I ever say it. Literally, once that 3-2, Nathan Ake makes up for his error in his involvement error in the Salah equaliser there, and heads home. Man City's third of the night. Fucking hell. You watch the media though, because there's been 5 goals in this game. They're gonna hype this up afterwards, no matter what. Oh, the greatest game, 2 rivals going toe to toe. Liverpool, me praising at Liverpool as well, even though I'll be honest, they've been poor tonight. Not poor to their normal standards before this season, but probably the same standards have been all season, really. Okay, but then behave yourself. You're living in cuckoo land if you think that. If you're a genuine Man City fan, fair enough. But if you think Nathan Ake, who basically cannot get in the Premier League Man City 11, when you've got a fully fit squad, you think he's better than Gabriel? You need a fucking head testing, mate. I think even the World Cup showed Nathan Ake has his faults still. He's only at Man City anyway by fault, not design. Evening, gents. Evening, Ridgey. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're all ready for the weekend as well. What happened with Salah? Well, again, basically, apart from the equalising goal for Liverpool after going 2-1 down, that's taking that out of the equation. Salah's been non-existent in this game. Absolutely non-existent. Quarterfinal World Cup versus sleeping at home. Yeah, quarterfinals of a World Cup for the national team. Playing, okay. Again, as I say, throughout the World Cup when he did play, was found out a lot. Not just him, others as well. Found out by their faults, but we're talking individually here. So he was found out as well for his own faults and what's in his game. And you talk about someone's resting at home. Yeah, resting. That's the key word, mate. Resting. Ready for the season. There's obviously ways, but obviously there's no way of an immediate fatigue kicking in for him. He's had a few weeks off resting, training with his teammates and his manager, playing a few friendlies as well. So he's not been completely rested either. He gets played for Arsenal in friendlies against Lyon, AC Milan, Juventus. Scored in 2 of the games, I believe, if I remember rightly. So, not exactly resting. He has been playing, and he's a first choice he's a first choice centre back for the team that's currently top of the league. Where did we fall down to see that? Them days are long gone, my friend. Home and away wise, they're long gone. We put them feelers out there. Fucking, I mean, was four if it went for the goalkeeper there, quick on his feet at half time. Wait, he's a troll. He's a troll. I'm not even going to rise to him. Rise to the person now. No. Oh dear, but yeah, we even though we did lose on New Year's Day to you guys, undeservingly, but we did lose. We showed on that day, and from now on in, since then, we ain't no mugs anymore. We ain't going home or away to the Big Six or anyone in general and getting turned over anymore. I've no idea, Mr. Bungle. Just pops out of nowhere and claims to be a City fan, then starts talking crap about Nathan Ake being a better defender than fucking Gabriel, based on because he went to the World Cup and your defender didn't. And look at the Brazil squad, the options for Brazil, and then look at the options for Holland. It's not exactly hard to get in the Holland squad, for fuck's sake, in terms of the defence at this moment in time. There's not that many options as it is at Brazil. And I have no qualms. He'll be in the Brazil squad for the Copa America when it comes around, and that's next year or so. That's next year, next time actually, isn't it? Yeah. So he'll be in that squad. He'll be in the next World Cup squad in a few years' time as well. I've no doubt about it. He's a top quality defender who plays regularly for his club, by the way, week in, week out, and is playing for currently the top team in the country, week in, week out. Whereas Nathan Ake, when you have a fully fit squad, is nowhere near the starting 11. And apart from tonight, the only reason he's playing tonight is because Pep's resting certain players for next week's game against Leeds. Talk about KGB. No, why? The Memphis in the chat. It's coming home. The league title's coming home. Hopefully, Tutswood after what will be nice if it does happen in May and we do win the league. It'll be the first time in 19 years we won it 19 years ago, and we let Chelsea have a little dominance. We had Man City come along and do what they've been doing. Even less, we had Leicester to win it. And we thought we're getting bored in this now. We want it back. Imagine, mate. I'll be ecstatic. I'm one of the most realistic Arsenal fans you'll ever find on this platform. I'm just taking it game by game. I'm enjoying it for what it is. Would you have Harry Kane? No. Nemeth, I would not know. I've been saying for God knows how long. Harry Kane doesn't turn up for his country, hasn't put in a performance for his country in God knows how long. Ukraine in the quarterfinals, apart from Ukraine against Ukraine in the quarterfinals of the Euros last year. When was the last time Harry Kane actually turned up for a game, competitively or friendly, and you can say he put in a performance of a lifetime? You can't. And even in this World Cup in particular, what did he do in this World Cup? Apart from obviously missing the penalty at the end in the last game, when it comes Jack, apart from missing that penalty, in terms of scoring goals, he scored a penalty early in that game, He scored against Senegal, and that was it. He scored 2 goals in 5. He went from being the Golden Boot winner 4 years ago to 2 goals, and that says it all. He doesn't fit. For me, he doesn't fit the system. He's 30 now. Harry Kane. We need to be now. We won't because Southgate's at the helm. Still, he's staying put. I will get to your question, by the way, Chris. By the way, I did see your question. I'll get that in a sec. I apologise. Because Southgate's at the helm, Harry Kane will be at the Euros in 2 years' time. But realistically, he shouldn't be. He really should not be at the Euros in 2 years' time, because we need to be using the Euros the next 4 years to bleed in get our new first choice striker in and get them adapted to not only the system but being the number 1 striker. Because in 2 years' time, the Euros comes and goes. We won't win it because Kane will be up top and Southgate's a clown. And then Southgate will leave, humiliated and all that, as per, one sec. He'll leave and at the end of the Euros, if we even qualify for that, by the way, because we have got Ukraine in our qualifying rounds for the Euros. But if we do qualify, we won't win it. And as I say, Southgate will leave, and it needs then you've got 2 years between that and the next World Cup then, for not only to get a new manager in. Oh, that's tough. There's no way there's no way it'll be given. But if VAR is in place, that would be given. It gives the new manager comes in and after Euros then has 2 years and not only implement his system and pick it, build a not just a team, a starting team, but a squad that person then believes is capable to go up a step further and win a major tournament, i.e. the World Cup. He's then got to out Kane, pick his own captain, and find a new striker, and get that striker adapted within 2 years for a World Cup. Why not do that now? This is a perfect opportunity to out Southgate, getting someone new in 4 years, give him a 4-year contract, so it covers them for the Euros and at the end of the World Cup, and obviously between now and then reassess things as tournaments go by. But hey, it is what it is. Right. Oh, Navigator's coming on. Who's he coming on for? Thiago. Oh, Chris, since when are we playing tonight? Since you got through the last round of the Carabao Cup, my friend. And that's what, in one sense, even though we got knocked out in the last round, in one sense, when I realised that actually this round was going to be played days after the World Cup, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of relieved, because it's literally like, as you say, you got a game tonight, then you're playing on Boxing Day. So I think, you know what? I take the hit this year in the League Cup because of what the World Cup and all that's come along. Take the hit in the League Cup, sadly, and use that a bit extra time to prepare ourselves for Boxing Day and New Year's. Right, sorry. He let the country down. He spits when he talks. And then who are you playing Cinnamon? Well, this is the thing. I would have said normally Ivan Toney, but we don't know. But he's currently caught up in a betting scandal now. So it's unlikely that he's ever going to play for England ever again. Or not even again, because he's never played for England, but he'll never get picked for England ever again. Let alone put an England shirt on now. But again, that's not. At this moment in time, the only other option, striker-wise, that's experience, is Callum Wilson. But again, that's not long term. That's a short term fix. Then we do need, and that's, again, this is now Gareth's job for the next 2 years to find that person. And then we're saying, I heard Jesus will be back soon. Yeah, the dates that have been, the date that has been bandied about in the last 24, 48 hours. Is this going to be 3-3? Behave yourselves. Do not say this will be 3-3. No, Nunes scuffs it yet again. Greedy Nunes. Thinks to himself, doesn't wait for his teammate, goes to the shot, and yes, again, for the third time tonight, smashes it wide. It would have been offside. No, he would have been onside. I think the fullback on the far right was playing him on. But yeah, the date that's been bandied about in the last 24 to 48 hours is the 25th. He'll be back for the Leicester City game away on the 25th of February. That's rumoured to be his comeback game. Obviously, Arteta in his press conference today is playing his cards close to his chest and saying nothing on that, not confirming or denying it. He's not giving any dates on it, basically. Haaland's getting taken off. All got 2 subs. Grealish and Foden are both coming on. Palmer and Haaland are going off. So playing a false 9 now in the attack. As Jesus always comes back. Oh, there we go. There's a clown in the chat. You can make animal balloons, please. Face paint station in the back. Oh, dear. Who is more likely to win the World Cup first between England and USA? England, obviously, but under Southgate, that's not going to happen. Eddie needs to step up. And yeah, I've said this. I'm trying to think now. When I said it recently on this channel, actually. In terms of Eddie, he has to grab this now. Well, when he signed, he knew he was going to be second choice striker, the second option. Well, even before Jesus coming, when he signed, he knew the club were looking for someone else. Jesus. And when we did get Jesus, when we announced it officially, he knew he weren't going to be the number one choice. And he said to suck it up because, again, play for play. When you compare to both players, Jesus is miles ahead of him. Let's be brutally honest here. Shots on target is match. Nathan Ake had the most shots on target, had more shots on target than Liverpool as a whole. Fuck me. So yeah, Eddie's had to bide his time. He's had to sort of suck it up, and now the opportunities arose where he's got an opportunity now. And yes, we lost to Juventus on a Saturday night, just gone, and everyone's having Eddie, wow, this is why we're going to miss Jesus. Anyone watched that game? Eddie put the ball in there twice and got caught and got pulled back for offside. No VAR, by the way, but got pulled back for offside. He put the ball in there twice, as I say. So let's not completely lose our minds here. Give the kid a chance. He might surprise us. I hope he does. I really hope he does, because otherwise you're putting massive pressure on the club then to go out and spend more money in the winter window on a striker. And it's now, in terms of to finish off what I was going to say, in terms of Eddie, it is now or never for him. I know he just signed a new contract in the summer. Was it a 5-year contract, whatever? So at the end of this season, we had 4 years left on his contract. But this opportunity has come around by fault, not design, by the way. The fault of Brazil. More so, Titi, whatever his name is, how you pronounce it, the now former Brazil manager, being a prat. But anyway, but he's got to take it. he's got to take this opportunity. He's going to have enough games now between now and when Jesus does come back to step up for us now and show that he is capable of stepping up and filling the boots of Jesus when called upon, if necessary. If he doesn't, and he balls it up to a point where by the time Jesus comes back, we're basically just hanging on for second, and Man City's not running away the league because Eddie's not doing it, and basically it's costing us. If that happens, what I've just said, Arteta will let him go in the summer. I think we'll start putting feelers up, saying, "You know what?" to the club. Put feelers out there. I want someone else to be my number two. We need to get another. We need to get a better second choice striker, basically, or a striker to come in to compete alongside Jesus going forward, because it is now shown to me he can't do it. But obviously, again, as an Arsenal fan, I'm going to get behind him, Eddie, between now and then, and I hope he proves a lot of doubters wrong. I would play Martinelli up front if while Jesus is out. That might be that could be an option, especially with Smith Rowe coming back into training and get himself ready, get himself match fit, ready for the festive period. Oh, it's all kicking off Rodri and Fabinho now. Here we go. Oh, it's a bit of a scuffle now. Bit of a little scuffle. Fabinho's now been pushed over, and he's just sitting there going, "I'm not going to react now," even though you instigated it all. But as I was saying about Smith Rowe, Smith Rowe's coming back. He's back in training. He'll be back in the matchday squad. The next game or two, either Boxing Day or New Year's Eve, he'll be in the matchday squad. And if hopefully his return goes as smoothly as we're hoping, that Martinelli getting played down the middle occasionally could be an option. With Smith Rowe playing down the left, it could be. But we'll wait and see. We don't need to panic just yet, guys. Look, as I say, we're top of the league. We're 5 points clear. Let's enjoy the moment, game by game. We chip away, and see where we end up come May. If we win the league, as I say, I'll be at the parade. I'll be the most arrogant Arsenal fan on this platform. You won't find a more happy, arrogant bastard than me. Trust me. I'll be giving it large all summer. Even the Arsenal fans on this channel will be like, "Ryan, give up now. Stop it. You're boring us." Oh dear. Right. Craig's in the chat. Pick up Craig, by the way. Nketiah's costing us £26 million with his 5-year contract. And that's what. Oh. No, that's not a pen either. Get up. Oh, Robertson, behave yourself. Don't make hands on him. In terms of when Eddie, I said that Gary can back me up. I believe I said it when Gary was on here. In terms of weeks ago now, I said this. If Arsenal had finished in the top 4 last year and finished in Champions League spot, I think Arsenal would have bit the bullet and allowed Eddie to go for nothing. And we would have gone and got 2 Jesus and another striker and let them back it out straight from the off, basically, for that to be the first choice, basically, between them. But the fact that we didn't, I think they sort of think we can't get to what we were planning. We can't do, so we'll bring Jesus in, but we need to keep Eddie and give Eddie a contract. But give him a big contract, yeah, huge in terms of not just wages but time frame as well. But it's sort of, as I said at the time, and I said a good few weeks ago, if an opportunity arises, and obviously it has done now, and he doesn't take it, and Arteta sees the light, but he's got, come the summer, he's got 4 years left in his contract, and Arteta can go to the club. Well, I don't feed it, basically. We've given them an opportunity when it fell upon him when Gabriel was injured. He didn't take it. I believe that cost us the title, if that's the case, or whatever position we end up falling into come May. Especially if we finish in top, especially if we do finish Champions League spots in the Champions League anyway for next season, I do need to sort of get an upgrade on Eddie, basically. And for that to happen, Eddie has to go, whilst at the same time we bring that other person in that's going to be capable of not just coming in as a number 2 initially, but also pushing. One sec, matching an attack here. Pushing. No. Pushing Jesus basically to be the number 1 striker that's capable of doing that. But again, as I say, Eddie's got an opportunity now. If he takes it, fantastic. Obviously, benefits us as a club. If he doesn't take it, it's on him then. He can't blame anyone but himself then. But look, as I said, people lose their minds because we lost against Juventus. Oh, we lost 2-0. Eddie was playing. We didn't. The guy put the ball in there twice and got flagged for offside when he wasn't even offside. In both replays that I was watching the game and I saw the replays, and he wasn't offside for either goal. Just poor officiating, basically, by the linesman twice. So let's not lose our minds. Let's remember that, and let's get behind the kid, for fuck's sake. And if it doesn't work, as I say, as it's been mentioned, Martin, then he can play down the middle. We can play a false nine with whoever, if we have to. There's options. We're not. Our squad isn't down to the bare bones, basically, completely. Yes, we've lost our main striker for a month and a half at least, by the looks of it, but from what we're hearing now. Just take it on the chin and we go again. In the meantime, and Arteta has already said today in his press conference that we are going to be busy in the transfer window. De Bruyne, and I like hearing that today from Arteta that he said, no, we're not in a position where we can't do our business. We can't just do our business in the summer. We've got to make a distance during the season as well. So they've learned this, and that tells me they learned from their mistake of last winter, the last winter window last year. They've learned from that, and they've realised they can't do that again. Especially if they want to build something going forward. Right, let's go back into the chat. Because Ramadan was doing all that one sec. Back to this comment as well. Ryan, big up. I hope Arteta take notice of this Man City. Knowing Arteta, it'll be another light bulb moment. Oh dear. Balogun needs a valid games for us. Again, from what we're being told, though, Arsenal don't really want to call him back, even though he's doing well over in Ligue. They don't want to call him back and risk disturbing his progress. Sorry, because obviously he could come back and it could go completely tits up, basically. And his confidence and everything he's been building could go completely the other way in him. That's the worst thing that we could do to a kid. Arteta only signed Eddie Turnillo as he knew he could only bring one. That's what I'm saying. If we got top 4 last year, Arteta and the club would have bit the bullet and let Eddie go for nothing in the summer, and they would have got 2 Jesus and another striker in. I have no doubt about that. But the fact we didn't, we worked within our means basically and bit the bullet in terms of having to give him a contract. But he's got, as I say, I keep saying, I've said it 3 times now, he's got an opportunity now. That's he can't complain now. He's got an opportunity to fill on his lap. If he doesn't take it, it's on him. If he does take it, great, because it benefits us. Can you see Kane in his buds? No, I think that he had the moment. He had the moment with Man City a couple of years back. Now. A year and a half ago, last season, he had the opportunity. Started last season, he had the opportunity because of his contract situation. It backfired, and I think because of his age now, no, I think he sees it. I think he sees his days out now. Because no self-respecting big club now with him being 30 is gonna come in for him and spend money on him basically for the sake of a short-term fix for their respective club. No, Gundogan's gone down, holding his foot. Bergen next year is number 3 striker for a team in the Championship. Yeah, number 3. He's number. Yeah, but Bellingham keep Bellingham out on loan first this season. He comes back next year. And he is the number 3 / League Cup, FA Cup striker when we're playing lesser, lower league opposition. Full due respect, but mainly the third choice. In the North Bank, Arsenal football guy is saying he has been given 2 years to prove himself. 2 years to prove himself this and next season. Sorry. Last season we would lose him for free. 2 years cost us over £10 million. If it falls through, then the remainder of his contract has market value. Yeah. The only way it comes from, for me, the only way he sees the two gets a full 2 years is if he takes the opportunity now. He takes it by the scruff of the neck and runs with it, and it benefits us obviously. What's B? Or we completely capitulate and fall outside the top 4 again and completely bottle it, completely like Champions League and everything. All the records, all of our records for all the wrong reasons again. Again, reversal on that. The only way he doesn't then see how to get the full 2 years back in is if he doesn't take this, capitulates, and Arteta sees the light and goes, you know what? And even though if he doesn't take the opportunity and capitulates before our eyes, but we just about hold on to our Champions League spots in the meantime, Arteta sees all that and realises he needs an upgrade on what he's got. To be in the Champions League, he needs to upgrade. And he knows that he ain't going to be going back to number 3. So, and that happens. But we'll see. We'll see. Either way, come the summer, he's got 4 years left in his contract. Come the following summer, he's got 3 years left in his contract. And then we got 4 minutes of injury time going on. It's still 3-2. The game's sort of petered out now. Fans have started leaving as well. A few more empty seats at the empty end has sort of started appearing at the lower tier. Everyone talks about the French league being so good, but Saliba came from the French league and he is good. No, but I think what Gary's trying to say in terms of obviously Bellingham, because as has been mentioned a lot in the chat actually, is obviously in terms of as a striker, the levels as a striker. We've seen with Pepe. You can look at he looks obviously with when I say about Pepe in Ligue 1, before he came to us, he obviously was playing in Ligue 1, week in week out, top goal scorer. the season going into the season he came to us and all that. Player of the match is Kevin De Bruyne, apparently. Okay, if you say so. And then he came to us and he never really adapted. Obviously, you can look. Certain leagues can be very good. Certain players can look very good in certain leagues and not so good in another league. Saliba is one of them players where you look amazing in any league. He can adapt and play in any league. It seems. And obviously that's good for us because we've benefited from that then. But certain players certain players don't have that ability, basically. Chris is saying, and Chris is a Liverpool fan, by the way, if anyone that's new to the channel. Nketiah is more important than most Arsenal fans think. A player that can get you through the early rounds of the tournaments, giving the main striker a rest. There's that as well. But I'm saying in terms of it, right here, right now, he's going to be the main striker, Premier League-wise as well, more likely. To start off with and see how it plays out, basically. But yeah, this game, it's going to finish as it is now. So Liverpool, the holders are going out to the League Cup winners, basically. The team that lost it 3 away last year against West Ham on penalties and allowed a new team to win it are now looks like they'll progress into the quarterfinals to go and regain the League Cup title this year by knocking out the defending champions. Imagine doing all that, winning a domestic double. Anyway, getting to the League Cup final last year, winning it on penalties, and then I know you got Man City in this fourth round and all that, but they've had a bit of that World Cup break and all that, sort of bit of a distraction and all that. I cannot get that, but not really put up 2 games into defending your thing. You're going to be knocked out by man's knocked out so easily. You've got out of a whimper, really. Even though it's 3-2, but the media won't touch on that. Liverpool been poor tonight, and 3 times they've been caught out of how many opportunities that Man City had. They took 3 opportunities in the end. And it's seen them go. It looks like they're seen to go through with 30 seconds to go. I know that, Gary. I know that. Exactly, and again, that's the main thing. We want him. We do want Eddie to prove his doubters wrong, because he does have doubters out there. Like yourself, even myself, I have my doubts, but he's good. But I'll support him when the teams are announced on 7 o'clock on Boxing Day. He's a start. He is the striker up top for us. I will back him. Yes, I might criticize if he's not putting his weight. I'll criticise during the game, but I will also be supporting him. There we go. Liverpool are out. The defending champions of the Carabao Cup have been knocked out with a whimper. Pep Guardiola shakes hands on clubs the match ball as well, and doesn't walks off and then drops it for some reason. Whatever. Haaland's happy. He's ecstatic. He's celebrating with his teammates and coaching staff and all that as well. So you can see the hunger. He wants to win this tournament, but that doesn't bode well. Riyad Mahrez in the World Cup is literally, and he's like holding his legs up, bending out, holding his legs there. But more so that Kevin De Bruyne was on his knees there. They just won, and he's on his knees. It wasn't the hardest game either for him. Let's be honest, even though the scoreline would suggest it was a tightly contested, end-to-end fanatic game. For us that have watched it for the entire 90 minutes, it's been nothing of the sort. It has been complete dominance from City, but at the same time, even though they've dominated this game and deservedly go through and win the game on the night, the the faults in their team this season did come flying to the surface twice tonight in their defence. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of the season. If it continues, if that continues in terms of Man City's offensive attributes not being then the usual Western heads, they keep leaking these goals home and away in the league and in all comps. And again, as long as Arsenal do their bit, we continue to do our job respectively. That can only benefit us long term, especially in the league in terms of the race for the title as it mounts as we go into the new year and all that. But yeah, not a good start. Not a good game back for Liverpool, was it? Oh my days! No, literally again. Not many players of Liverpool went to the World Cup this time around, apart from like Nunez there, Henderson. I think they're Allison, sorry, and Van Dijk. Wasn't like the entire all these big boys went to the World Cup and they put a bit of tiredness and all that. Yeah, it was just so like it was like again. I've said it at tonight. It was like there'd been no World Cup, and this was literally like the next game after the weekend of a league game, basically. It's like Klopp hasn't used this international break, if you will, to get these players around the table, respectively, and iron out all the issues they've had at the start of the season, defensively, offensively, as a whole, basically. And yeah, and then tonight, it's just as I say, apart from again, both teams went full strength as they possibly could in the circumstances. Apart from two players, I think from each starting 11, it was a fully strength, respectively, Man City and Liverpool's sides putting out tonight. And for the majority of this game, Man City were, yes, you can say that at home, but they were dominant in possession. They looked threatening going forward every time they attacked, especially that first half. Second half sort of petered out, especially after the first initial 10 minutes or so, the second half. After that, the game sort of petered out and went about its business. Just went through the motions. But the first half, especially for Man City, they were dominant. They were up for it. They were hungry, and you could see it. Liverpool, on the other hand, especially the players that didn't go to the World Cup, nothing. Just like a normal game from this season where they've underperformed yet again and they've been found wanting yet again. Greece made the wrong move going to Man City. Yeah, he did, and eventually, when it comes down to it, yes, he's got a Premier League winners' medal out of it, but at the same time, before you go, Craig, at the same time, it'll get to a point where, I'm getting winners' medals, but if I'm not really contributing to the level I know I can and playing enough and getting enough minutes myself, is it really worth it, basically? And surely he'll want to go somewhere then and prove himself that he can be at a top club, put a shift in. And if he can go to another club, if he gets the opportunity to go to another club that's competitive in England or wherever, not saying Arsenal, by the way, but I'm just putting, for argument's sake, if he can go to another club in England, that's going to be able to compete with Man City and possibly win a title, where he can play more minutes, have more of a say, and have more of an input. And if you went to that team and they won the league title, but he's had more of an input. That league winners medal would have been more to him than the ones he'd then be winning as a bench player at Man City. But do I think that's going to happen? I don't think it will. I think in terms of Man City, the only reason Man City went for Jack Grealish was to stop Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, or whoever else, any potential rivals in and around them from strengthening themselves by grabbing him at the time. That's the only reason. Because he's not a Pep. Again, with all due respect to Jack, he's not a Pep type of player. If that makes sense. Craig saying Arsenal will beat West Ham and draw with Brighton, lose to Newcastle, draw with Man United. What about Tottenham? You've missed Tottenham out on that one. I think we beat West. I think we beat West Ham. I think we beat Brighton on New Year's Eve, as long as we're fully strength as possible. I think Saka, Martinelli, obviously Eddie will probably be up top. But if we go full strength, like Partey, Xhaka, Zinchenko, hopefully he's back. Zinchenko, I think Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White and Ramsdale. Basically, as long as we don't get no more injuries and all that, Man City and the Man City fans over on Twitch saying walkover. It felt like it, even though, as I say, I'm a neutral, my friend, and even though the scoreline will suggest it was close, realistically it wasn't. Let's be honest. Let's be brutally honest here. That was the most one-sided game this week in the League Cup. But as I was saying, I think as long as we get no more injuries between now and New Year's Eve, or suspensions or whatever, we beat West Ham Boxing Day. We're at home, London derby. We're at home. That's the main thing there, and with Man City playing the next day, it gives us a chance to give ourselves an 8-point buffer, knowing they've got to play Leeds. They'll probably bring back to 5 points in 24 hours. No, sorry, Tom. They probably will bring back to 5 points in 24 hours. It gives us that bit of a previous space for 24 hours, and they pulled back again. But we'll see. And then we got Brighton on New Year's Eve. I think today, as long as we don't get any suspensions or injuries against West Ham, I think we will beat Brighton, even though it's away. They have been a bit of a bear bug of us since they've been promoted to the Premier League, but I think we can and we probably will beat Brighton. Newcastle at home on the 3rd of January, I think it was. It is, sorry. That for me, I think we'll probably draw that game. The worst case, hopefully, again, I hope we win. But I think we put the worst case we'll draw. Tottenham away. In historically recent years, we win at home, they win it. We win at the Emirates, they win at their shit heap of a fucking football ground. That could be a draw, depending on obviously how we are going into that game. Again, of injuries or suspensions, we don't know. Also, you've got to remember Smith Rowe will be back as well. He'll be getting his match fitness up as well. Amongst all this, I'm saying. I'm going to go for an Arsenal narrow win there, obviously. Never going to go for us and lose against Tottenham, obviously. Man United at home, I think we win. Just, again, our home form against United in recent years has been up there. Hasn't been the issue in the league in terms of our home form against United. So I do think we'll win that. And then February comes along, sorry, lost my voice there. And we play by. Look at that stats: 18 shots to 7, 9 on target to 2. It says it all. How dominant, how one-sided that game really was. Oh dear! Time for me to go and watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Says NMF. Shit, how did I forget about Spurs? We haven't got a decent record at their place. Maybe a 1-1 draw or Spurs win. I'll take the draw. Based on our away record, I just like, well, we'll take the draw, don't get me wrong. But obviously, I want to win more. I want us to win more, obviously. But yeah, I'll take that. I've heard Smith has had enough setback with his injury. No, I don't. I think Arteta mentioned today in his interview there was a setback during the aftermath of coming back. In the aftermath of his surgery, there was a little setback, but he's okay now. He's back in training. He'll be back in full training. So in the next few days, in the next couple of days or so. So either tomorrow or Saturday, he'll be in full training. So more like if he's in the matchday squad on Monday, he'll be on the bench, more likely. And we'll definitely see him in the matchday squad, starting or on the bench either way for New Year's Eve. And again, obviously the same for Newcastle onwards. But yeah, the setback hasn't been recently. That was literally in the early stages of after his surgery. That was all, from what I've read into it. Today Arteta said ESR is back training after the setup. Yeah, and that's what I mean about Smith. Obviously, I don't think. Yeah, he's definitely not starting. Obviously, against West Ham, he might be on the bench just as a bit of to fill up the numbers, and just as a precaution, just in case whatever happens. Yeah, he's got the options there basically. But obviously, he won't want to risk it, but he's just there just in case. But that's the thing. We're more likely to see him at some point against Brighton on New Year's Eve, and definitely against Newcastle on the 3rd of January. And they're possibly more likely, depending on how them two games then play out, obviously, Brighton and Newcastle respectively, more likely to see him start against Oxford for about 45 minutes or so, see how he goes. So in that game, sort of build his fitness up and like that. Grealish is what I hope Wilshere would become, but damn injury. Fucking injury. I felt Jack was that, from an Arsenal fan, like we all are, most of us are here, Jack has so much potential. We could see it week in, week out, when he broke into the match state, into the senior squad. We could see it, even as a kid when he broke in. And Diaby's been mentioned just there from Craig. Another good shout. Both lads, potential straight from off. You could see it. And then obviously Diaby got his injury, and early on in his Arsenal career, never really got back into his full fitness of a full season at Arsenal. He'd have spells occasionally where he'd get a run of games, and you start seeing the potential of what reason why Wenger brought him, and then he'd get injured again. He just never really got into the flow of things. Jack is just, again, young lad as well. When he got the injury, I was at the game, Arsenal versus Red Bulls in the pre-season friendly, the Emirates Cup. And that was at the time. In the game itself, you don't know, because he's walking. He's going to get a bit of support. He's walking off the pitch down the tunnel. So him walking down the tunnel straight away, he knew it was bad, but he didn't know it was that bad. Straight from the off, season ending basically. But again, another one like Diaby, just every time he sort of came back, you'd think, okay, he's back. We're going to get a good. This is it now. And he gets an injury in training, or he gets an injury during a game, or muscle pull, things like that. It's just never ending for the kid. And his career went down the fucking tube. Went to West Ham, sort of continued down the route of injury FC for half his time there, and then by the time David Moyes makes a comeback to West Ham after Pellegrini was sacked, David Moyes didn't want nothing to do with him, and never gave him an opportunity basically by the sounds of it. And because of how that ended, no one really wanted to take a risk on him, Premier League-wise. Went back to Bournemouth halfway through a season. Did really well for that entire 6 months. He was back at Bournemouth when they were in the Championship a couple of years back. Didn't get any injuries. Was proving his fitness week in, week out, performing really well. And then he thought, the 6 months will be enough to prove that I can maintain my fitness now. A Premier League will come in. So he thought, fuck off, Bournemouth. Bring on the offers, and no one really came in, did they? As we all saw, he just in the end he realised he fucked up and bit the bullet and retired. But so much potential, but the injuries. Imagine what Jack and Diaby could have been, not just for the respective country, but for us, for Arsenal fans, what that could have meant for us at the time, at both times respectively. And yeah, it's rotten luck, but yeah. I'm going to start wrapping up because obviously a lot of people say Merry Christmas, by the way, but I do want to say, because I don't know if I've seen most of you, because I think the Champions League draw is either tomorrow or after New Year, one of the two. I need to check that, but I'll let you guys know on the community post and on social media, etc. afterwards. Yeah. It's gone now. So if you don't see, if there's no stream tomorrow, that means there's no draw tomorrow, basically. And if that is the case, I want to say it now. I do hope you all have a great Christmas and have a good weekend and all that. And we obviously see you. We'll all get together again on Boxing Day for Arsenal versus West Ham. Have a bit of a laugh. Even like Tom and Stefan and all the others that usually come in, the neutrals as well. All have a bit of a laugh. All have a bit of a catch up and the general chit chat that we have, a bit of banter back and forth. And yeah, if you don't come around, if you're not around, if you're not able to get around for that stream, I'll see you even New Year's Eve or New Year. Hope you all have a good time with your friends and your family, and we'll see you on the other side. Before we go, this is a comment from Guy. Goals this season: Arsenal 32, Haaland 24 in all comps. Yeah, well, one of them's Haaland's not human. Period. He's just not human. Merry Christmas, everyone. Even the ones that smell 300. Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas, Craig. Hope you have a good Christmas, my friend. And BX Gunner, everyone. That's everyone. Sorry. I hope, I'm bouncing it all back to you. I hope, as I say, all have a great Christmas with your friends, your family. Don't get too drunk. And see you on Boxing Day. Definitely see you on Boxing Day. 7:30 UK time, sorry. We'll go live half hour before kickoff like we always do normally. Go through the teams, bit of a catch up, see how everyone's feeling, get everyone time to come in and settle in and get the stream on Amazon, and yeah. And I'm going to say a bit of a laugh and a bit of a banter and exchange, talk about what gifts we've got or this, that, and the other. And yeah, have a bit of a laugh as well along the way, and celebrate that the proper football is properly back, especially from my Arsenal perspective. It'll be properly back come Boxing Day. More to look forward to in that sense. Oh dear! But if you are new to the channel, my friends, 1 second. 1 sec. If Eduardo didn't suffer that horrific injury, I do believe we would have won the league. That's it. Yeah, we would. We were above at that point, on the verge of walking on way the league at that point. But we all know what happened, and yeah. So what happened to us, and then 2 years later, same point of the season, pretty much. Arsenal top of the league, going for the title. Away to Stoke. Ryan Shawcross, and Aaron Ramsey, and we all know what happened there. And it cost us the title. Bastard. And the same effect on that. Again, even though certain players were around for both incidences, the same effect happened, and that was a bit concerning mentality-wise, but it was what it was. Can't rewrite history, sadly, in that side of things. But yeah, we definitely, the Eduardo season, we definitely would have won the league if he hadn't got injured. We were already top, and we were just about to start putting it away from United and all that. But the Eduardo thing's just, yeah, I'll get into another train, but yeah. Yeah, as I say, if you're new to the channel, do smash that like button, do subscribe to the channel as well. It is completely free. If you want to become a member like Tom and others, just go into the join channel, and you got an option. There's 2 memberships, 99p and £2.99. I know times are tough, so that's the reason why the prices are so low. And no matter what, they've all remained at that price, no matter what. But also, as I say, with the cost of living crisis and all that, and things are being as tough as they are, it's a month by month thing. So if things do get a bit too tight, you can come away and come back at another point whenever on that side of things. But it's just an option. It's not a necessity. You don't have to. It's just there as an option for you guys. So yes, as I say, smash the like button. Do share the content around, and if you haven't already, go and check out the most recent podcast with Arsenal legend Paul Davis. That was recorded live, actually, but it's now as I'm calling, last Thursday. So go back to not just it'll be after this one, 2 streams prior. So last Thuday, you can't miss a thumbnail on the title anyway. Go check it out if you want to check it out, but you want to listen to it on the go and do your day-to-day business between now and Christmas. Got bits and pieces to do, but you want to listen to it. You can listen to it. You can catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and all other podcast apps and platforms, basically. And if you listen to it on Spotify, you can leave us a review as well. Tell us what you thought about the podcast, things like that, little workshops like that Spotify come up with recently. You can give us a rating on Spotify. That'd be massively helpful as well, as we try to create the audio side of our podcast as well. And do again, if you're going to listen to it or watch it back now, do share it around still, because it does. Again, it massively helps the channel, and obviously it shows me that you guys enjoy that sort of stuff, and then I'll be like more inclined to then reach out to other people and try and get more, do other special podcast, one-off podcasts as well with other ex-Arsenal people, so we say. But yeah, aside from that, there's nothing much else to say really, apart from have a very good Christmas. Alpha's in the chat. Big up, Alpha. Thank you to everyone that's popped in tonight, kept me company, kept me sane, and even at the end there, as I say, I have Alpha, Craig, Mr. Bungle, Tom, BX, Gary, Chris. I'm trying to remember everyone. I don't find anyone, but I just but yeah, everyone. I've not forgotten names now, but everyone that's either I've mentioned or haven't mentioned that popped in tonight, massive thank you. If I don't see you between now and Christmas, do have a fantastic Christmas. I keep saying it, but do have a fantastic Christmas, especially in these tough times. First of all, do have a fantastic Christmas. Spend a lot of time with your friends, your family, and have a bit of a laugh, and just take your mind off other things, I would say. But yeah, and then what was the final score? Mr. Bungle, there's a scoreboard down before we come back. Man City won 3-2 in normal time. So Man City went through. Liverpool, the defending champions, are out. The draw will be in about 10 minutes, by the way, but I'm not going to stick around for that because Arsenal are involved and there's no real point, really. So yeah, as I say, have a great Christmas, and I'll definitely see you. Hopefully, I see all of you guys and the others as well that come back and watch this. The Arsenal Misfit and Stefan and everyone else. Hopefully, I'll see you all on Boxing Day. As I say, 7:30 UK time. We'll be going live, going for the teams. Myself, Gary, hopefully Liam. Looks like more likely Liam, because I don't think he's going to he's able to go to the game either, and see who else is available, and basically get a load of us together over the festive period and have a bit of a laugh. And as I say, talk about any naff gifts or whatever, what we got, what we're given, this, that, and the other, a bit of a laugh about the football and celebrate the proper football's back, and it's Arsenal's time to celebrate that time. And yeah, aside from that, yeah, just have a good, as I say, keep saying, have a very, very good Christmas, and I'll see you soon. As always, even though Arsenal aren't playing tonight, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.